So hello students, welcome back for Susie's Biology. So today in this session we will discuss about the circulatory system, and kindly watch and give your likes and comments, and keep on watching. So please subscribe for revising all the chapters. Heart. Heart is a muscular organ, so it pumps the blood through blood vessels. What are blood vessels? Arteries and veins are the blood vessels. So always arteries carry pure blood and veins carry impure blood. The only exception is pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Pulmonary artery they carry impure blood, whereas pulmonary vein they carry pure blood. And the pumped blood they carries the oxygen and nutrients to the body, all the parts of the body, and they carry the metabolic waste, that is carbon dioxide, to the lungs. And if you take the size of the heart, it is about the size of a closed fist. So you can see the image here, and if you see the location, means the heart is located in between the two lungs in the middle compartment. And an adult heart, it weighs about 250 to 350 grams, average adult heart. And the size, it is about 12 centimeter in length and 8 centimeter wide and 6 centimeter in thickness. And the heart is enclosed in a protective sac that is called as pericardium. And the three layers of the heart, they are epicardium, myocardium and endocardium. Epicardium is the outermost layer, and the middle layer is known as myocardium, and the innermost layer is known as endocardium. And we are having four chambers. So these are the four chambers of the heart. So right atrium and the right ventricle, it consists of the right. It is referred as the right side portion or right heart. The left heart consists of the left atrium and left ventricle. So these are the four chambers. So the upper portion is termed as atrium and the lower portion is termed as ventricle. So they are separated by means of valves. So the right atrium and right ventricle, they are separated by this tricuspid valve, whereas the left atrium and left ventricle, they are separated by the mitral valve or bicuspid valve, and in between the two compartments we are having a septum. So it prevents the mixing of pure blood. We are having a septum, so it divides the heart into two portions. So these are the four valves. So you can see the tricuspid valve here, three leaflets will be present, and two leaflets it consist of the mitral valve, or otherwise known as bicuspid valve, and the other valve, they are also known as semilunar valves. So these are the four valves of the heart. Now we will see about the how blood is circulated in between all the four chambers and to the body. So the first we will start with the right atrium. So the right atrium, it receives blood from two major veins, namely superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So this superior vena cava, it drains blood from the upper portion of the body, that is head, neck region, etc. And inferior vena cava, they brings the blood from the lower limbs of the body, and they both drains the blood into the right atrium. So from the right atrium, the blood will enter in and through this valve, that is called as tricuspid valve. So on a contraction, what will happen? The blood ejects from the right ventricle. So the contraction is otherwise known as systole. So during systole, what happens? The blood will eject into from the right ventricle to the pulmonary tract. So the pulmonary trunk, it is otherwise called as pulmonary trunk. So it branches into right and left pulmonary artery. So this is the pulmonary right and left. The violet color indicates the pulmonary trunk. So it divides into two branches, namely right and left pulmonary arteries. So it will go to each of the lung. So why it is going? So in lung, exchange of gases will occur. So oxygen-rich blood will be exchanged with carbon dioxide-rich blood. Then from the lungs, what will happen? The pure blood, after exchange of gases occurs, the pure blood will enter into the left portion of the heart through the pulmonary vein. So the pulmonary vein, it brings the pure blood into the left atrium, and this left atrium, it is separated from the left ventricle by means of the mitral valve, and the blood now, the pure blood will now enter into the left ventricles. So here the mitral valve is otherwise known as bicuspid valve. So the after coming to the left ventricle, the blood will enter to the tissues through the aortic valve. So here aortic valve will be present, and here before it is there is a valve called as pulmonary valve. So now from the left ventricle through the aortic valve the blood will enter into the aorta, and two more small openings will be present here in this portion, and that valve the two small openings above the aortic valve. So here above the aortic valve there will be two small openings which supply the blood to the heart itself. They are termed as right and left coronary artery. So from the aorta the pure blood will be supplied to all the tissues of the body. So this is the circulatory system. And the role of the valve, what is the role of the valve or function of the valve? They will prevent the backflow of the blood from each chamber. So that is the main role of each valve. So sequence of events that occurs in which the heart contracts and relaxes, it is termed as cardiac cycle, and there are two phases like systole and diastole. Systole means contraction and diastole means relaxation. So systole, it is a period of time during which the ventricles contract and it pours the blood out into the aorta and pulmonary artery. Diastole means it is the period during which ventricles relax and refill with blood. So for a normal rhythmic heartbeat, that is lub dub, and there are four sounds also. We will hear only the two sounds lub and dub during the systole and diastole. The other two sounds are not audible. So the third and fourth sound, they are called as cardiac murmur. So this normal rhythmical heartbeat, it is termed as sinus rhythm, and this beating of the heart, it is established by a natural pacemaker that is called as sinoatrial node. So SA node, it is present here in the right atrium. So for the normal functioning, heart is a pumping organ, so it also needs a power source and they uses electricity. So we don't need to plug ourselves into mains and all. Our heart is having the ability to create its own electrical impulse, and they control the route via a specialized conduction pathway. So we are having 5 elements in the conduction pathway, namely SA node. So the first one is SA node, and second one is atrioventricular node, and third one is bundle of His, and the fourth one is right and left bundle of branches, and fifth one is Purkinje fibers. So these 5 elements play important role in the electrical conduction. So what will happen? This SA node, it creates an electrical signal. So the SA node creates an electrical signal. It travels through the heart and it causes the muscles to contract. So it first SA node, it creates a signal and it travels through the right atrium in a radial way, and it travels to the left atrium through this Batchman's bundle, and then it travels to the atrioventricular node here, and then it travels to the atrioventricular node, and this is found at the bottom of the right atrium. Then the signal travels along the bundle of His. So here this one is known as bundle of His, and then the signal travels along the right and left bundle of branches, and then the ventricle signals, they are carried by a special tissues called as Purkinje fibers. Thus the cardiac conduction system occurs. Next we will see about the electrocardiogram. So this is invented by the William Einthoven. So here what we are recording is, we are recording the electrical activity of the heart. So an electrocardiogram, it records the electrical signal from your heart to check for the different heart condition. So for that what we are doing is, we are keeping the electrodes, it is otherwise called as leads. So totally 12 leads are there, and 6 leads are placed here in the chest portion and to record your heart signals. So we are watching the electrical activity of the heart from all the sides of the heart. So here the signals are shown as waves, and it is attached to the computer monitor, and we will get a waves pattern in a grid, ECG grid. That is it is known as ECG wave. You can take out the print. So in a conventional 12 lead ECG, 10 electrodes are placed on the patient's limb and on the surface of the chest, and the overall magnitude of the heart electrical potential is then measured from 12 different angles. And here there are this is the typical ECG wave, and the P wave, it represents the depolarization of the atria. Depolarization means try to remember that is influx of sodium. It causes the depolarization, and efflux of sodium is known as repolarization. So here the P wave, it occurs due to the depolarization, that is the movement of ions. So they only cause the action potential, and because of that action potential only the heartbeat will occur. And the next wave is QRS. So the QRS, it is a complex. It represents the depolarization of the ventricles. And the next, it is followed by the T wave. It represents the repolarization of the ventricles. So again I am telling, P wave is caused due to the depolarization of atria, and QRS means depolarization of the ventricles, and T means repolarization of the ventricles. So here I have given here P waves. It is caused by the depolarization of the atrial musculature and atrial contraction. QRS complex waves, it is formed as a result of ventricular depolarization and ventricular contraction. T wave, it is due to the repolarization of the ventricles, and it is formed at the end of the systole. And human beings, we are having a double circulation, that is pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Pulmonary means circulation of the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs, and oxygenated blood from lungs to left atrium. And systemic circulation, you refer here, it is a flow of oxygenated blood from left ventricle to the body tissues by aorta, and deoxygenated blood from tissues to right atrium. So we are having double circulation. And these are the disorders of circulatory system. So hypertension, that means when we are having a high blood pressure, that is 140/90 mmHg. So it is due to high blood pressure, hypertension. And the next one is coronary artery disease. So if there is a blockage in the arteries, coronary artery, the blood will not flow to the heart, and it leads to, it is otherwise called as atherosclerosis. That means deposition of fat along the arterial wall. So it may lead to atherosclerosis, and the next disorder is angina pectoris, and the congestive heart failure and cardiac arrest. These are the major disorders of circulatory system. And thanks for watching. And in the next session we will discuss about the excretion and excretory products. Thank you.